I don't know how to say the things that I want to say without sounding cruel or vicious. I think in the aftermath of the election, and granted, if by some odd chance a Trump supporter is watching this, I fully support your right to choose any candidate that you want. That's how democracy works. I think sometimes those choices might be misinformed, but God knows I'm not perfect, and God knows the left hasn't done a very good job of trying to build a bridge. It is weird to me that a bridge even needs to be built. On a fundamental level, I think we all want the same thing. I think we all want happiness, peace of mind, security, prosperity for our loved ones to be safe and secure, and for us to be able to provide for them. I think on a fundamental level, and not even American versus anything else, or conservative or liberal or red, blue, any of that made up bullshit. I think on a human level, that is where most of us lie. And if it isn't, then this video is not for you, and that's okay too. I think the thing that saddened me the most about how the election went, and mind you, I'm not pro-Democrat or anti-Republican. I am very much so anti-Trump. I could spend an inordinate amount of time talking about all the reasons that he is a bad human being. But that doesn't matter. I could bring up documented evidence I sound like Trump trying to fight the election. I could point out how his economic policies from the first administration, coupled with the pandemic, cratered our economy, and how the Build Back Better plan, as flawed as it was working. But that's not constructive either, and that's not going to change any minds, because it obviously didn't this time. I will say, though, that Trump has more felonies than anybody I know. Trump and the people that endorse him have said some very disgusting things. Trump has done bad things to good people for no reason, and good things to bad people because they kissed his ass. He's nothing more than a bully. And I don't like bullies. It just made me very sad, the election night. People were worried about the economy, and fair enough. Things are more expensive. There's no debating that. You can't fault somebody for being frustrated with the status quo when the status quo doesn't work. And people are worried about immigration, which, fair enough. People are worried about a lot of things. I think some of those things are perhaps bendings, stretchings of the truth, and in some cases, outright lies propagated by the same media machine that says that Trump is bad is the exact same media machine that says he's the only hope. But where the sadness comes in is all of his failings as a human being are documented. You only have to listen to him talk to realize that this person is, at the bare minimum, not fit for the highest office on the planet. But the majority of Americans voted for him. He won the popular, as of now. He absolutely won the electoral. And I woke up the Wednesday morning after the election feeling like I was in a foreign country. I grew up in foster care, and I was homeless as a child. And I remember hearing about the American dream and all this other stuff and seeing it on TV and watching kids have Christmas and watching kids have families and all this stuff and not feeling a part of. And I remember going to the hospital once while homeless. And I sat there for, it was like 25 or 26 hours. Never actually got to see a doctor. And there was this other fellow there, and he had some sort of a wound on his leg. And it was obviously in severe sepsis, a lot of infection. I mean, you could smell it. It was like sitting next to a dead squirrel or something. You could smell it from a few seats away. And he sat there and he cried for that entire 25 hours. And nobody did anything for him. He never, as far as I know, he didn't see a doctor. Or he didn't see a doctor while I was there. And I remember just feeling an intense sense of disappointment because this American dream and this all this other stuff that I'd heard about, I had not experienced, and I was certainly not experiencing it in that moment. I felt the same thing one Wednesday morning after the election. I felt like I woke up in a foreign country that I no longer recognized. Where people openly chose the man who vilifies the weakest members of our society and holds in high regard monsters. It was just a really profound sense of disappointment. Feels good to say that out loud. So, that's all I've got to say on the matter. For what it's worth, I certainly hope I'm wrong. I absolutely hope that I'm wrong. I absolutely hope that this administration does great things. I worry that I'm not wrong. And I worry that if this administration does terrible things, people will turn a blind eye to it. And then I guess I'd just be disappointed again. But I guess change happens one person at a time. And hope isn't lost until you stop looking. So,